welcome back. If you recall, we had just finished up kind of simmering our clementines and our lemons, and then we had to let that sit for up to 12 hours, at least 12 hours. You can do longer, obviously, but at least 12 hours you want. Our next step, what we're doing, we have turned on the burner here, and what we're gonna do is we're just going to add, one sec. We are going to add 3 tablespoons of crystallized ginger, finely chopped, 3 tablespoons, and remember that's the produce department you look for, along with a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Very important that it's kosher salt. And we are just going to stir this in. And now what we have to do is we're going to bring this to a little rolling boil again, and we're gonna let it simmer for about 30 minutes. It's kind of a tedious process, but it's all worth it in the end. So we're gonna bring this up to a boil, and then we're just gonna let this simmer for about 30 minutes or so, and then the fun really begins. In the meantime, what I'm doing here in this pot, I have just placed 6 mason jars. This one's gonna be a little hot, but I just have 6 mason jars. This is about how much this recipe makes, 6 of these. I placed them in here, and you want the water to be warm, but you don't want it to boil. The point is you just want your jars to be warm when you fill them much later. Word to the wise, I don't know if anybody's done this before. I purchased this little guy, because apparently it's essential to have if you're canning or pickling or doing anything. But what I have found is it does not fit into any pot unless it's a specific canning pot that they want you to purchase. Kind of bummed me out at first, and then I thought, well, what the heck, I'm sure Mrs. Walton and, Little House on the Prairie lady did not need this to make jam, so I figured I could do it without. And it turns out you can. So word to the wise, just know that. Anyway, I will see you in about 30 minutes. Bye. Hello, welcome back. So our rinds have been cooking for about 30 minutes or so now. Now is kind of the final step. Our jars are heating. We're going to add, we're going to add 4.5 cups of sugar to this. To our Clementine lemon mix. I know 4.5 cups, it seems crazy, but it actually works. And then lastly, pardon me for leaving, we're gonna stir in 2 teaspoons of this amazing vanilla paste. And if you've never used it, it's absolutely incredible. So let's see if I can find my teaspoon measurement here. Somewhere. There it is. So we are just gonna do, and it just squeezes out. And pardon me using my fingers, but here we go. It's kind of hard to do it otherwise. But we are squeezing out 2 teaspoons of glorious vanilla paste. And I'm discovering that 1 tube will get me maybe 3 batches of jam, 2 or 3 batches of jam. So anywho, we are gonna stir this in, our sugar, vanilla paste. We are once again gonna let this just simmer on a lovely low heat. And this is gonna take about 40 to 45 minutes to let this just kind of all soak together. If you have a candy thermometer, you want it to reach about 220 degrees. If you don't have a candy thermometer, you want to get it to the point where when you drizzle your spoon across it, that it leaves kind of a little glaze. Then you know that your sugar has taken, it's all been absorbed, and you are going to be ready to go. So in about another 45 minutes or so, we're gonna scoop this into our jars and do the finished project. Be back with you soon. Take care. Pause. Okay, folks, hello, we are back. So as you can probably see, this is, our mixture is nice and just slowly rolling at a boil. We've brought it to 200 degrees. or I'm sorry, 220 degrees. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our little jars out that have been just staying nice and warm in our water. Just gonna turn those over on a nice, little thing that'll let them drain. All right. Now we're going to dry them. So you don't want extra water in there, but while these are gone, we're gonna turn our water back up here because we're gonna need to boil all this stuff for just a teeny tiny minute, like 5 minutes. We need to just boil it. So we're gonna grab a little soup ladle, any ladle will do. Do watch your hands with this because this jam is gonna be hot. We pour it in there, and you don't want it, you just want to get it right to the base of the rim of where your jar or where your lid's gonna go. You put a freshly washed lid on, squeeze on the band nice and tight, and we're gonna put that into our hot water. And we're just gonna repeat this for a minute, so I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have all of our jars placed in here. We're gonna cover this. The water is just starting to boil again. We're gonna cover that for 10 minutes. And then all you do is remove the cover and let it sit for 5. We're almost there, kids. Okay, so we've been letting our jars just simmer in this nice boiling water for about 10 minutes or so. We're gonna let them sit for about 5 minutes, but I just wanna show you. We're gonna pull these out. And you want the water nice and high, and it looks kind of runny and whatever right now. You bring them to a cool spot to let them sit. And in the end, what you're gonna have is a beautiful marmalade that is all jellied. It's not runny, it's gorgeous and solidified, and you're gonna love it. It's comforting, right?